Alright, folks, and welcome back to the Happy Piano Fun Times here at Downstage Gaming. I'm your host, Josh, and this is part 3 of our Let's Play of The Letter. Last time we had some pretty spooky things happen. Still not quite sure. Isabella here came to the mansion for the first time where we were supposed to meet Rose. And as we got there, we called a couple times, and there was, like, no answer. Then some spooky things happened. Suddenly, Rose answers, seemingly tells us to go to the attic. We go to the attic, we find a letter. The letter says, help me, help me, help me, and then says to pass it on to 5 people. Then we nearly get killed by the ring girl in a quick time event. And then we finally came back to our senses at the front of the mansion. We met Rose for realsies in person, and also met Marianne, who is a interior designer working for some buyer. So we've just come to go get something from Rose's car here, so we've exited the mansion. And a flock of people have already gathered in the mansion's front yard by the time we officially open the doors. I'm not sure whether I should feel baffled or underdressed standing in their presence. I mean, if this is what you're wearing, I don't know. I think that's fine. It's got a fun sort of business. I mean, I don't know about the bottom part here, but the top part's got like sort of a business casual thing going on. Men and women of wealth and status, all dressed to the nines in fancy suits and lovely dresses of varying colors, compose the medium-sized crowd. Their necks, arms, and fingers are adorned with silver and gold, glinting in the afternoon sun. Some even have ridiculously fancy feathered hats on their heads. This is like most stereotypical rich people. I really hope there aren't any magpies living nearby like in the stories. Those birds will have a field day in this. They're murmuring among themselves, looking at the estate's facade appraisingly, with some arguing about whose mansion has the superior architecture. But most of it stops as Rose calls for their attention. They don't look too pleased at being ordered around, but what can they do about it?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rose Cooper, and this is my partner, Isabella Santos. We'll be taking a tour of the mansion in 2 groups. Please make sure you filled up our sign-in forms before joining a specific group.
Also, we should just no asking about attics. The attic is off limits.
Those who want to look around the first floor, please follow my partner. I'll be guiding the ones who wish to see the ground floor.
Is the first floor and the ground floor different? Am I stupid? Is this a British thing? I guess first floor in this case would mean second floor? The way I would know it? Like the upper floor? And ground floor is obviously the ground level. Hearing this, a few wander to me. They are mostly old ladies who seem daunted at the idea of climbing all those stairs. Relatable. Miss McCulloch also joins our group, but what really catches my eye is the elegantly dressed pair she approaches. Okay, these might be the buyers that she's working
It's
for.
so nice to finally meet you! When Chief Inspector Lee mentioned that a famous interior designer is in town, I knew I had to get you!
Your confidence in my skills is very flattering, ma'am.
Alright, so what do we think? Family, married, dating, what's the word on these two?
I'm sure you won't disappoint, Marianne.
I'm not sure about this voice.
Oh, you know each other?
Not at all, ma'am.
You mentioned something about a Marianne on our way here, darling?
Oh, yes, I think I did.
Ah, they must be the clients she was talking about. So prim and proper. I might have seen their faces somewhere before, some magazine or television, can't quite remember. But then again, most of our guests have likely ended up on the news one way or another. I wouldn't be surprised if these two already have. For people who are popular, though, they aren't dressed as loudly as the others, and in their simplicity, the couple stands out. I'm curious to see them again. I'm not sure that I would say they're dressed simply. The woman, in particular, is stunning enough to turn the heads of most people in my group, especially the men with wandering eyes. The guy standing beside her doesn't seem to mind, though. If I'm going to be a bit bolder with my assumptions, I'd say he's basking in the attention. Both of them, in fact. So they're the popular kids, is what I'm hearing. I think they are brother and sister. And if it wasn't for their public display of affection, okay, so, the matching rings on their fingers just cement the fact that they are indeed a couple. Alright. My only sunshine. How nice. Whatever. Couple or not, what's important is we get this deal closed so that I can make the money. I just hope one of the people in my Rez's group is brave and generous enough to buy this mansion. And so, with papers in hand, I lead the way. Follow me! Alright, we're still in the afternoon, still Friday, October 21st, which I just realized as I was thinking about this game. Yeah, I was literally thinking that, like, the climax of this story must take place on Halloween, right? Like the big climax. That's my thinking. Alright, when they aren't whispering among themselves or going ooh and ah over one thing or another, they ask questions. From how the restoration process went to the history of the place, I answered them all, more than happy to talk about the art pieces and architecture mostly, rather than talking about the ghouls. However, I'm careful not to mention anything about the ghouls. Not a good material for sales talk, even if the entire population of Luxport knows about it. Isn't that like the whole thing? Is people like actually love to buy
Some of the
haunted
furnishings
mansions?
here are actually the 17th century originals, all of which have undergone a painstaking restoration process just to return its original beauty.
Even the glass thing. Colorful ones. Oh, I don't know, but
What?
you get the idea, I hope.
Are you what?
Especially that one, ma'am. It is said to be a gift commissioned by the fiancé of Lady Charlotte Ermengarde.
Ooh.
The mansion's current owners have specifically requested that the restoration crew take great care in handling it. It's a priceless work of art and the most distinctive feature of the mansion.
It is very nice. By the time I've stopped talking, her attention is already elsewhere.
Isn't this place wonderful, darling? I told you it's not a total waste of your time.
I don't know. Isn't it a bit too small? We might have to break a wall down to have more room.
Well, I think it is just right. Don't you think so, Marianne?
Is there a reason they misspelled Marianne in this case? Like she doesn't know?
It is splendid, ma'am.
Story updated. What?
But isn't it a little too early to make plans when no deal has been signed yet?
What? I don't understand. Does that have something to do with my choices that I made? Like because I made her happy earlier? I don't know. But it isn't too early to make plans. Yeah.
Never mind that. It isn't going to be a problem. We've got a wonderful legal team to handle everything.
We've got lawyers for days.
Start taking notes, though. I think I've got a few things I want changed before we move in.
The rest of their conversation gets lost in the chatter of our companions. They seem pretty confident they're going to be able to buy this. I don't want to make any assumptions, but their sheer interest is enough to give me some semblance of hope. Oh, please, 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 let these guys be the one. Eventually, our group reaches the kitchen. Much like the rest of the house, a great deal of effort has been put in retaining the room's classical appeal. Yeah, I kind of like this room. I'm not sure about the scary hatch here, but the open hearth at the end of the room, in particular, looks amazing, like the ones I've seen only in fairy tale books. And mad props to the cleaning crew. Let's give it up for the cleaning crew. Woo! Seriously, after overhearing hundreds of their complaints about the soot and tar staining the bricks, and how much of a pain in the arse cleaning this will be, they still managed to pull this off. Or make it look presentable, at least.
The highlight of the room, however, is what's underneath this hatch here.
Oh, I don't want to know what's underneath the
Oh,
hatch.
don't say anything yet. An underground wine cellar.
This is the first time the guy in gray speaks up. Mr. Luke Wright, if my memory supplies from the forms they signed earlier. His sudden attentiveness catches me off guard. Since the start of the tour, only his wife has shown any form of genuine interest in this place. But this is a man who loves to get drunk in a secret wine cellar. But this time, something lights up in his eyes as they mention the underground. He just loves to go under floors. What's so interesting about a basement? I really don't understand rich people sometimes. Right now, he just gives me the impression of a child who has seen what he absolutely wants for Christmas. Secret wine cellars. I always found it cute whenever I see children act that way. My younger siblings especially. On a grown man? Super hot. It's almost funny.
Yes, sir. It could house around 7,000 to 11,000 bottles of wine.
Jeez.
Truly. And
What?
the room. How was it built?
The bricks that were used to build the cellar have been carefully picked for the purpose of maintaining and preserving a constant temperature and humidity in the room. It's a good place to keep your private collection in if you have one, sir.
Which I have no doubt you do.
It keeps the corks in good condition.
Oh, love. Didn't you say before that you wanted to make your own personal vineyard? Perhaps you could start one here.
Perhaps.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it.
And frankly,
We were told
This
that
is
the original owners
unnecessary.
had a horse
The
stable
amount of
built here
room you
before,
have.
too.
there's a contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he has started to show interest, if only a little. I smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score! Can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every room in the ground floor and are heading to the parlor. Well, I want to see the parlor. Funny, the first time BRC had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Rose how big it is. Now I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe this is just the excitement over a possible sale? Y'all hear that? It's like some freaky whispering going on here. Alright, when we reach the parlor, however, an odd feeling washes over me. It starts off as small goosebumps on my skin, a feeling of being watched intently. Whispers in my ear and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick. I start to break out in a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies in the group have been requesting for a break anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
Let them sit while I retreat to a quiet corner to recover. It's not what you think. Don't think about it. It's not what you think. Probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. Just need some Dayquil. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out of my lips in a silent prayer. Until a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there?
What's up, ma'am, right?
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you. Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
I don't trust her.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker. Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hana. Call me Hana.
Hana!
I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Why does everyone in this group think that they've already bought it? Is this a joke? She looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see, but we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. Don't touch me, Hana. For a moment, with her tight smile, she looks as if she has tasted a particularly sour lemon. The eyes. I don't like this.
Please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money is not a problem.
I mean,
and
not every
just between
problem
you
can be
and
solved
me,
with money.
This place is better off with us than with some old lady who will probably just fill it up with cats.
And what's wrong with that?
I
Maybe the cats
personally
become
don't
haunted.
think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hana. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? This is what I've been saying for decades. More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
Well, I'm more of a dog person.
Yeah, I bet you are.
But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon.
It's quite an anniversary gift.
And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves.
Good. More rich people.
What would the people think, darling?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to wince when her nails dig into my shoulder. She's still holding on to me? Jesus. What is this? I can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCulloch, who only gives me an apologetic smile and a shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
Also, ma'am, can you let go of my shoulder? She wastes no time in taking the papers from my hand and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
I'm not really on your
Isabella.
team here.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
Oh, classic.
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to put in a good word to your superiors too, and...
Now, Hannah, if you want to do the whole, like, become friends with the worker thing to have them, like, get you an in, you gotta actually, like, care a little bit. Like enough to know their name.
What's this?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did she just have the letter on her person and just... A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
That's, an interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage.
Garbage!
It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Get this garbage out of here!
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with, what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month.
I mean, this is the letter, right?
You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled. But I'm sure you'll know what to do with our walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, Mom. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort,
Okay,
of course.
Yeah, okay.
It has to always work with a palette.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
It's my turn to be puzzled. I don't know how you could not have picked up what's going on here, Isabella. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed not enough? I want to ask what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. But with the way Ma'am Hannah is leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do interrupt her.
That's good to hear. See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
A smile is back on her face when she turns to me and hands me a strange piece of paper.
I would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression. Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I wasn't listening to most of what she was saying before either, but still. I can only stare down at the paper, at the letter in my hands. The sides crinkle in my grip, and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Isabella? Are you alright?
It's
You're
all
looking
good.
pale.
No, we're good. I didn't even notice when Rose's group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say that, no, I'm not alright. I want to leave this place. Because I remember everything as clear as day. This letter, and that woman in the attic. It's real.
The letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
This is a freaked out face, my god. Careless. I've been so careless. How do I even tell them that without looking like I've gone mad? Should I even tell? Okay, well, so the actual consideration here, I think, is, I mean, let's presume that this curse or whatever is real. The thing at the bottom of the letter with its chain letter nonsense said, like, show this to 5 people or something bad will happen to you. So presumably, like, after you show it to 5 people, something's gonna happen? That's my presumption. But also, if I don't show it to her, like, I don't feel like keeping Rose in the dark here. And I feel like the more people know what's going on, even if she's definitely not going to take it seriously at all, the better. So let's show it to Rose. Did Rose like that? Oh, Marianne did not like that. Huh. Okay, because she is not going to take this seriously, probably. I blurted out before I could think twice about what I'm going to say.
Rose, we need to get out of here.
Okay,
This
no.
place is cursed.
No, I didn't want you to, like, flip your lid. I just wanted you to show the letter. Rose casts a nervous glance at the people in the room. Most are still engaged in the conversation with their peers, but those curious enough to turn their heads in our group's direction have been given her trademark saleswoman smile. A tight expression is on her face when she pulls me aside.
Isabella, we've already had a conversation about this weeks ago. Those are just stories.
And I'm telling you that it's not. I saw something in there. It's not human at all. I thought it was just nothing, but isn't this letter proof enough?
She gently reaches out to pluck the paper off my hand. Without even taking a glance at it, she folds it back neatly.
Look, I'm really getting worried about you. I know you want to see this open house through, but your condition is more important.
I'm not crazy.
Give me a few minutes to wrap things up here, and I'll drive you to the nearest hospital.
You're crazy.
No! You don't understand! There isn't a condition, Rose. No concussion at all. I'm fine. But this place isn't, and you're being stubborn about it.
I mean, you're being stubborn about it too, Isabella. Before Rose could open her mouth for a retort, a hand lands on both our shoulders, pulling the two of us a distance closer. I hate this guy.
Now, ladies, what seems to be the problem?
Ugh.
Nothing, sir. I just had to clarify a few things with my colleague.
Well, it certainly seems intense. A smile fits the two of you better, in my opinion.
Okay, I mean, this guy's way too much to actually be, like, an antagonist in any way, like a real way. But, boy, does he suck.
Especially darling little Lily here.
What? He gives my shoulder a gentle squeeze with an inscrutable smile spreads across his face. What?
It's Isabella, sir.
Of course. But my point still stands. And with two beautiful ladies here, I'm sure.
And I'm sure little Lily here would certainly appreciate it if you remove your pretty hands from her, darling.
I mean, you're one to talk. You've both been attacking my shoulders for the past, like, 20 minutes. Pressure my shoulder lifts as soon as those words leave his wife's lips, while the scowl on her face is like a splash of cold water on me. It's also impossible to miss the displeased frown on Miss McCulloch's face. The realization that we might lose this sale because of my outburst instantly dawns. Okay, so that's what she's upset about. These two love it, though. You can tell these two are exactly the kind of people who are going to be like, oh, it's haunted. I love that. Rose will be beyond pissed.
I think I need to step out for a while. I'll be back.
Bowing my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. It doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving in behavior like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face, because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
Hey, I'm not angry.
You seemed a little angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off, before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of folded paper. It's that stupid letter again. My hands stiffen when she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless, more as an automatic response than any desire to have it back. I'll throw it away if I can. I have this nagging feeling that one way or another, it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about it.
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this. I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this.
Like what? Like haunted or like a big mansion?
I've sold plenty of houses before, but nothing like what we have here.
Okay.
It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery.
I don't think I would ever want a place like this.
But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel. But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now.
Don't leave my vision.
You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She clasps her hands together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. I do understand. I'm gonna be alright. This is kind of wild, I know. But if I were to say, like, is there like a master manipulator behind everything right now, based on all the characters that we've seen up until this point? It's just a wild feeling I have. I do understand to some extent. It doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether myself, at the unlucky turn the situation is taken, or for her, I don't really know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
I mean, yeah, what kind of professional person calls her to be a noob? I mean, what person uses that in, like, modern day anyways, but come on. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. I am acting somewhat insane. It's better for me to step out of this one for now.
I won't be able to help you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere.
Well, don't leave me in the parlor.
Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
Okay. She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer, with this happy piano music back again. Few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through the stained glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies, gathered some ways across from me, is occupied in friendly banter about which one would cost more to buy. Little argument here, and occasional laughter and teasing there. I smile to myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing these past few months. Rose is probably right. I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon's hangout will help? Speaking of, I should call Ash. What's up, Dreamboat? It's a few hours early from what I told him, but he did ask for a call once I'm done. Besides, I don't have a ride back, he offered, so I might as well take it. Or bribe him into giving me one. Not that he'll ever accept the latter, personal convictions and all. Honestly, if there's something I find admirable in him, despite his tendency to annoy the hell out of me, it's that. Well, whatever way works, a free ride is still a free ride. There's Rose's offer too, but despite what she says, I know she'll be busy for the rest of the afternoon, especially without me assisting. Bothering her for a favor as small as this is the last thing I want to do right now. A couple minutes and a few prayers asking for a decent signal later, the call finally connects, and...
Shit! What's up, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe
Shit, how loud is this
City.
thing even?
Baggers, watch out, can't beat me.
Sharp ringing fills the entire hall, disrupting the pleasant quiet that is settled. Soon enough, heads begin to turn in search of the source, mine included. My eyes dart around the small crowd before zeroing in on a lone figure crouched behind the same group of old people checking out the floor as moments ago. He's facing away from me, fumbling with something in his hands.
Back as
But I don't
watch
need
out,
to see his
can't
face to know
beat
whose
me.
back it
Looking
is.
for trouble?
Well, I'd recognize
Better
that
not lie.
dumb parka
I'm a
anywhere.
Cool dude. Pretty fly
Without
for an
bothering to
Asian
end the
guy.
call, I marched towards
Sup,
him.
I'm Ash from D
After what
Luck
happened
City.
today, I'm
Back as
really
watch
not in the
out,
mood to deal
can't
with
beat
this.
me.
Of
Looking
all the
for
times
trouble?
to.
Ashton Frey!
I did enjoy your rap. It was good. That was good stuff. What happens next is something I'll surely regret later for having not recorded. He jumps, lets out an undignified yelp, followed by his phone slipping out from his grip. It bounces from one hand to the other in his poor attempt to catch it, before ultimately falling flat on the floor with a resounding clack. I kind of feel sorry for the phone. And the floor. But it's not every day that you can catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. Damn his stupid detective senses. He's a detective? I'll take every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Ha! An awkward pause passes between us. A blink. A cough. He makes a face. And then, in too quick motion, he ducks and retrieves his abused gadget, while a grin threatens to break out from my lips. He doesn't meet my eyes when he straightens, but a flush has crept up his neck and cheeks. In another universe, when we haven't known each other for 5 years and suffering through his teasing isn't a day-to-day occurrence, chances are I'd find that adorable. Oh, Isabella, stop lying to yourself. Come on. Come on. Endearing, even. Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his obnoxiously calm and collected disposition.
Hello to you too, scaredy cat. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
What? And miss that look on your face? No way. Oh man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny. Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
Ash is planning on buying the mansion. For a moment, he looks like a cat that swallowed the canary. Suddenly, checking every nook and cranny in his phone for any damage or scratches seems to be a more interesting activity than explaining himself.
Ash,
I could be looking to buy a house.
a mansion?
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
He's messing with me.
Ashton, I am not in the mood. What are you doing here?
He chances a glimpse at some point behind me. The parlor? Curious, I follow his gaze, but before I can figure out what has caught his attention, he places a hand on my shoulder and turns me back to face him.
I just finished working on something, so I dropped by.
I still don't see how his work has anything to do with why he's here. He's here to see you, Isabella. Come on. In my confused look, he drops the hand resting on my arm, like he has touched something particularly hot, and casually rubs the back of his neck.
And I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can. Free time and all. So here I am. Figured you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was about to throw you out.
Jesus.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client.
It's true, if you have the pamphlet, you're a client.
We have mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it. And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
No, wait. I wasn't really going to throw you out. Rose said... Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
So I am curious now at this point, with that last choice that I made about showing the letter. Had I not done that, like, how divergent is this bit? Like, would I still be basically having to just leave? Would Rose still be like, hey, you need to go? I'm curious about that. Well, we'll find out soon enough.
Wait, what? Now?
Something must have shown in my face because he pauses and gives me a long, hard stare. Sometimes I forget how easy reading people is for Ash, given how he often looks as if everything around him is a chore. I avoid his eyes, hoping he'll drop the subject and won't ask any more questions. The last thing I want is to tell him what happened, especially the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on Earth I'll ever think about telling it to if I can help it. Sure, he's a dependable guy. Sure, he's hot. God knows how many times he's helped me, even without me asking for it. But stuff like ghosts and the supernatural? He'll never believe those, even if he hears it from a friend. Except maybe if it's Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is give you an explanation. Why those things have no chance of ever being real. At worst, he's insufferable. He'll poke fun at you every single chance he gets. Ash, that's so much. What did I ever do to him? He never does that to Becker. He likes you. Hey, Isabella. I think he's into you. I can already imagine how things will go down the moment I spill a word of what I saw. Nope, over my dead body. Before it catches his attention, I shove the letter deep into my bag.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's movie tonight, remember?
Ooh, movie night?
It's still early. And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
Just walking out. Rush of air greets me as soon as the main door opens. Not the usual autumn draft, but it's still a welcome change from the stifling atmosphere inside the mansion. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me, the soles of his shoes thumping hard against the polished concrete in an awkward cadence as he rushes to catch up. He calls out once, twice. The mansion still looms in the background. Whispers calling me back, shadows beckoning. Help me. Help me. I don't look back. Alright, and we'll have to continue our ride with Ash and do some movie night shenanigans next time. This has been Downstage Gaming. I have been Josh, and I look forward to seeing you next time.